Hey y'all, welcome and/or welcome back to my channel. My name is Janae, if you didn't know, and today's video is another true crime episode. So if you're ready, let's go. So real quick before we get into the video, I did my nails last night. I did a quick little Valentine's Day set this time because I really wanted to try to keep it simple. And honestly, I just really didn't want to be up all night, even though I ended up being up all night anyways. But I didn't want to be up all night doing my nails. And so, yeah. I kept it cute, kept it simple. This is my first time having stiletto nails. I feel so, you know, y'all know. Anyways, though, I wasn't even gonna tell y'all this, but I'm gonna tell y'all anyways because I'm still a little salty about it. I'm kind of sad too because this is my second time recording this video. I did one a little bit earlier today so that I could edit it throughout the day and then have it up for y'all early tomorrow. But no, I went to editing and y'all, my heater played me. Okay, usually I can block out the background sound and make it so that y'all can't hear the stuff that's going on in my background, but baby, that heater wanted to be heard. I was so upset because it was good, it was cute, I did a good job, I was happy, I was like on time, I felt like, you know, that girl. And yeah, my heater played me. So I don't even got the heater on right now. I'm cold as hell. I got me a little blanket though, but that's not the point. The point is I'm cold and my heater played me, and I have a whole video that's sitting right here that could be edited, but it can't be edited. Anyways, so I actually came across today's case when I was researching another case, and it had to have been about like a good year ago by now. And I don't even know what exactly caught my attention. It was probably her name. And then when I started reading her story, I knew like that I was going to cover this case on my channel, but I don't know. I wanted to make sure I had the majority of the details, and I wanted to make sure that I could say her name properly because I don't want to disrespect nobody. And so I put it off for like a long time, but here I am, here we are. This case is not even like a lot of like gory details in the case, but the way in which everything was carried out, it might be very hard to hear. So with all that being said, if you're still here to hear the story, then let's go ahead and just jump right in. So on June 5th, 2020, in Durban Deep Roodepoort, South Africa, a couple members of the community were out when they came across a horrific sight that would leave not only them, but all of South Africa shocked and shook to the core. It was the body of a pregnant woman hanging from a tree. So obviously once they seen this, they called the police immediately. And upon police's arrival, they initially thought that this was self-inflicted. They thought that she had taken her own life. However, upon further inspection, they would take note that there was a gunshot wound to her chest. And this is when they determined that this young lady had not done this to herself and that she was actually indeed murdered. Now, police didn't know it at the time of the discovery, but this was a woman named Tshegofatso Pule, and she was a South African native who was born on April 10th, 1992 in Medellin, Soweto, and she was one of 4 children. She had 2 brothers and a sister, but unfortunately they would lose both of their parents when Tshegofatso was just a child. However, her aunt did take her and her siblings in, and you know, she pretty much just raised them as her own. Tshegofatso's aunt would describe her as a happy, bubbly type of person. She was very clean as well. She really liked stuff to be like real neat and just tidy. Everything go somewhere, everything go in its place. And moreover, more than anything else, Tshegofatso was described as a fashionista, baby. She loved her some clothes. She absolutely loved to dress. One of her aunts would describe her as futuristic. She pretty much just said that if you wearing it today, Tshegofatso was probably wearing it in 2019, okay? She was very fashion forward in the way that she dressed and the things that she liked. She just was pretty much a trendsetter. And the clothes that she was wearing, these looks that Tshegofatso was putting together, they wasn't cheap. Tshegofatso was expensive. She liked to buy the finer things. She liked the good fabric, okay? If it was cheap, you wasn't seeing Tshegofatso in it. She was a luxury girl, okay? And along with her love for fashion, Tshegofatso loved makeup as well. So much so that she would end up applying for and getting a job at MAC. Now, moving forward to October 2019, Tshegofatso was in a relationship with a man named Untutogu Shoba. And Untutogu came from a pretty good family. It said that he was raised well. He came from a very loving family. Now, I don't know if they was like rich, but I do know that they did well for themselves. And he would pretty much follow suit with the rest of his family by making something out of himself. And he would become a financial analyst for the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. And so he was making really good money. Now, I don't know how long they had been together at this point, how the relationship started or nothing like that. But what I do know is that there was conflicting stories about what this actually was. Now, I called it a relationship, but according to Untutoku, he would say that he and Tshegofatso were really just a casual type of thing. It was like here and there, sporadic, nothing exclusive. But according to Tshegofatso's family, like some of the people who were really close to her, they said it seemed like they were in a full-blown like committed relationship with one another. So I don't really know if he was downplaying it and they was really in a full-blown relationship, or if Tshegofatso was portraying it to her family as if they was in a real exclusive relationship and they weren't. I don't really know. But whatever the case was, there was one major problem in their relationship. And that was the fact that Untutoku was actually married. Yes, he was a married man. And the woman that he was said to have been married to was a wealthy woman, a woman who came from money, I believe, and she and her family were pretty well off. Now, from everything that I can understand, Tshegofatso knew that Untutoku was married, but it's unclear for me if Untutoku was telling Tshegofatso that he was going to leave his wife. But I guess it really wouldn't even matter if he was going to leave his wife or not, because in January of 2020, Tshegofatso would tell Untutoku that she was pregnant with his baby. So whether he was going to leave his wife or not, they were expecting a baby together. Now, according to some WhatsApp messages, at first it would appear as though Untutoku was really just he was kind of on board with whatever it was that Tshegofatso wanted to do, whether she wanted to get rid of the baby, whether she wanted to keep the baby. He pretty much just told her that he was going to support her. However, there would end up being some arguments down the line about healthcare. Now, I don't know how the healthcare system works in South Africa, but the arguments would really just be about the fact that Tshegofatso was not able to go to the doctor, and it appeared as though she needed money to be able to do so. And she was really just trying to be a responsible parent, a responsible expecting mother, and she wanted to go to the doctor because she wanted to get her prenatal vitamins. She wanted to get put on whatever medication she needed. She wanted to make sure that the baby was healthy. But Untutoku, he really wasn't receptive to giving her the money to go and get the medical attention that she needed during her pregnancy. But eventually he would come around, and Tshegofatso was able to go to the doctor, where she was able to hear her baby's heartbeat. She was able to find out that the baby was healthy, and she was also able to find out that she was expecting a baby girl. And Tshegofatso was really excited about this. She, being the like super girly girl, like fashionista, love makeup type of girl that she was super excited that she was having a baby girl. However, it was clear that Untutoku didn't share in this excitement with Tshegofatso. And because of this, she started to get in the mindset of she's going to be a single mother without the help of her child's father. And while she wasn't necessarily like super okay with this, she realized that she needed to get on her grind, and she was a great makeup artist. She did really good makeup, and so she started booking private makeup sessions. She started promoting more the fact that she did makeup, and she was really kind of just starting to step into her lifelong dream of owning her own makeup business. And she was really starting to stay booked and busy because her auntie was sending people to her. She was promoting more on her social medias. She was really just getting into the groove of like, okay, I need to make this money and ain't nothing about to stop me. And I'm about to be a mama, and I'm stepping into my dream career. Like, can't nobody stop me. Tshegofatso was really in this. Like, she was really doing well. And so Tshegofatso didn't give it a second thought when in late May of 2020, she received a WhatsApp saying that a person wanted her to do their makeup. They said that they wanted her to meet them at a restaurant and I guess do their makeup there. And like I said, Tshegofatso didn't give it a second thought. She was about ready to go until her family kind of was like, you know what? That don't even sound right. Like, why would somebody want you to do their makeup in a parking lot or in a bathroom at a restaurant or at a restaurant? Like, at a restaurant in general. It don't make no sense. This seemed kind of sketchy. And so Tshegofatso took the advice of her family and she didn't go to this meeting even though she wanted to. It was also around this time that Tshegofatso would receive a message via WhatsApp that said, stay, like something to the effect of stay away from my man. Now it's unclear if Tshegofatso knew who this message came from, but if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong about this, but I do think that this message came from Untutoku's wife. And while this message probably did bother Tshegofatso, she really couldn't be bothered with this at this point because she is heavily pregnant at this point. It's the end of May. She's due in the first week of July, and her family are planning a baby shower, which is coming up really fast. Her baby shower date is June 27th, 2020, and she got other stuff on her mind. She's trying to get stuff for her baby. She's trying to grind hard to make sure that she can provide a good life for her child. And she's trying to plan a baby shower. And she getting ready to have a baby. She really just couldn't be worried about this little message talking about some stay away from my man. She ain't had time for that. Now, even though Tshegofatso knew that Untutoku wasn't really excited about having a baby, she never wanted to not allow him to be a part of the baby life if that's what he wanted to do. So anytime that Untutoku would call her or contact her about the baby, or like seem like he was kind of getting excited about it, or just mention the baby in any type of way, saying that he wanted to be a part of the baby life, or he wanted to do this, or he wanted to do that, Tshegofatso was really receptive to this because she was okay with, like, well, I don't want to say she was okay with it, but she was okay with, like, okay, I gotta grind. I know that I have to provide for my child, and whether he gonna be here or not, I gotta do it. She was also like, well, if he want to be a part of his baby life, I'm not gonna stop him, right? And so when he called her on June 4th to tell her that he wanted to talk about the baby, like buying the baby clothes and stuff like that, she didn't hesitate to go to his place in Florida where he said that he wanted to have this conversation. So that night she left her aunt's place and she told her aunt, you know, don't lock up, I'll be back. I'm just going over to talk to Untutoku about the baby. And so she ended up getting an Uber to Florida where he stayed at. But when she got there, instead of talking about baby clothes, they would start arguing. Again, I don't know how true this part is because I only seen it when I was reading one article. I only seen it on one article, and that article said that they had gotten into it about the fact that Untutoku's wife was calling. But whether that was the cause of the argument or not, the fact is they did get into an argument. And Tshegofatso was like, you know what? I really don't have to take this. I'm going home. She was on her Steve Urkel. So she got an Uber. And unfortunately, that would be the last time Tshegofatso was ever seen alive again. Now, over the next couple of days, Tshegofatso's family will be calling her, but they wouldn't get a response. And her cousin in particular thought this was really strange of her because her and her cousins, they was thick as thieves, okay? They was like in there like swimwear sisters, like locked in, you know what I'm saying? If she wasn't answering her, it was a problem. And so instead of panicking right away, they decided to call Untutoku because they knew that that Thursday night she was going to see Untutoku, and she never returned home like she said she was going to. And so they called Untutoku and they asked him, like, you know, have you seen Tshegofatso? She said she was coming over to see you, like, what's up? And so Untutoku told them that, you know, she did come over here. We got in an argument. She got on an Uber and she left. And that was the last time I seen her. It was at this point when her family decided to file a missing persons report with the police. Now, due to this police report and the fact that they found a woman who matched Tshegofatso's description, the police contacted her family and asked one of the family members to come identify the body just to be sure that this was who they thought it was. And unfortunately, one of her aunts had to be the one who identified her. And once she saw Tshegofatso's body, she knew that that was indeed her niece. But now the question is, like, how did this happen? Why did this happen? Who did this? So naturally, the police want to talk to the last person who she was supposed to have been seen with, and that was Untutoku. And when they talked to him, he gives the same story that he gave the family. She came over here, we got in an argument, she got in the Uber, she left, and I didn't see her after that. And as a matter of fact, he even offered up surveillance footage because wherever he lived had cameras outside of the place, and he was able to provide the police officers with actual surveillance footage backing up his story. Now, I'm going to try to insert the footage right here, but if I can't, I'm going to describe it anyways for y'all. So, in the footage, you can see Tshegofatso and Ntutogu leaving his place, and there's a gate that's outside, and they go through the gate once, and you can tell that they're waiting for something, which obviously is the Uber, but it don't show up. So they go back towards his place, and then like just moments later they walk right back towards the street, and then not too long after that you can see a car pull up. And once this car pull up, you can see Tshegofatso go to the passenger side, and she's talking to the driver. Now, there isn't any audio in this video, so you don't really know what the conversation is, but you do end up seeing Tshegofatso get into the vehicle, and then the vehicle drives off. And so this surveillance footage did cooperate with Ntutoku's story. She did get into the Uber, and she did leave his place. Now, it wouldn't take long for police to find this vehicle and find the person who owned the vehicle or who was driving the vehicle. And they found out that the car was registered to a guy named Musakaise Malepane. And so they bring him down to the police station. Now, I don't know if there was like some type of interrogation, if they were like, we caught you on surveillance footage, or whatever the case may be. He said that, yes, I was her Uber driver. And I actually indeed was the one who took her life as well. And the police were like, what the fuck? Why? But we'll get to the why in a second. So at some point, they offered him a plea deal to plead guilty to the murder of Tshegofatso and her unborn baby. And in this plea deal, he was sentenced to 20 years in prison. But another part of his plea, he would have to testify against the man that he implicated as the mastermind behind Tshegofatso's killing. He implicated none other than Ntutoku Shoba. So now we jumping ahead to Ntutoku's trial, and like I said, Musakaise is the star witness. So this is what Musakaise said. He said that him and Ntutoku knew each other from high school, but they wasn't like best friends or nothing like that. They didn't kick it, they didn't hang out. But, you know, they knew each other through in passing. And he don't know how Ntutoku got his phone number or how he was able to get in contact with him. But he did. And Ntutoku told him, like, basically, I need you to find somebody to kill my girlfriend because I don't want my wife to know that she's pregnant with my baby. He said that Ntutoku picked him because he knew that Musakaise was like a street dude. He was a real gangster. He was a real thug. He was out here living that thug life, and that he was going to be able to find somebody who would be able to take care of what he needs to be taken care of. And so Musakaise, being the gangster that he was like, okay, let's talk numbers. What are we talking about? What I'm supposed to tell this person who I'm hiring? How much money you gonna give them? And so Ntutoku was like, I can offer up 7,000 rand, which is only $480. Like, I'm hiring somebody to take somebody out, and you only offering them $400, 7,000 rand, bro. You talking small business. And so Ntutoku was like, okay, cool. I can give you 20,000 rand, which is about $1,100. And he was like, no, look, I am a whole gangster out here in these streets. We work with big money only. So Ntutoku's final offer was 70,000 rand, which is about 4,100 USD. And so upon hearing this number, Musakaise was like, okay, bet, I got you. So now this is when Musakaise said that June 4th wasn't actually even supposed to be the day that Tshegofatso's life was taken. He said that it was supposed to happen about a week prior. He said that he had contacted Tshegofatso on WhatsApp pretending to be a person who wanted their makeup done. And he wanted it done in a restaurant or a restaurant parking lot, or, you know, he wanted her to meet him at a restaurant, right? And remember, I just told y'all she didn't go to that meeting because her family thought it was sketchy. Turns out they were absolutely correct. It was sketchy. It was dodgy as hell. And the plan was for her to meet him there, and he was, you know, going to, you know, kidnap her and carry out the hit there that way. Not there, but you know. But since she didn't show up, the plans had to be changed. And so when she went to go see Ntutoku on the 4th, instead of calling her an Uber, he actually called Musakaise. So the prosecution wanted to know, like, okay, so if you was only contracted to find somebody to carry this out, why did you do it yourself? And Musakaise basically said that he did it because he was greedy and for the love of money. And those were really just the only motives behind him actually carrying this whole thing out. And then they wanted to know, okay, so if this was supposed to look like she had taken her own life, why would you shoot her? Like, that don't make no sense. And he pretty much just said that he didn't have the guts to hang her alive. And it's like, bro, if you was gonna shoot her, you could have just left it at that. You didn't even have to go the extra mile. You didn't even have to go the extra step to try to make it look like she had done this herself, because at the end of the day, like, it was unnecessary. Anyways, though, Untutoku denied everything. He said he didn't know what the hell Muskaise was talking about. He had no idea. He didn't even order the Uber. He said that Tshegofatso ordered her own Uber, but phone records would say that you're lying, sir. He was lying. He actually did contact Muskaise, even though it was from, I believe, a second phone. But nonetheless, he was lying. And in the end, Untutoku will be sentenced to life in prison. And I just got a couple things to say right quick, because I know it takes two to make a baby. And if Tshegofatso knew that Untutoku was in a relationship, or he was married, or whatever the case may be, no, it wasn't right. Okay? No, it wasn't right, and she shouldn't have been sleeping with him. But at the end of the day, Tshegofatso don't owe Untutoku's wife nothing. It's on Untutoku to say, like, look, I'm married, I can't be sleeping with you. I can't be doing this, I can't be doing that, right? And furthermore, we don't know what Untutoku was telling Tshegofatso. He could have been telling her that he was gonna leave his wife. He could have been telling her that they was gonna have this happy life together, and whispering sweet nothings in her ear, and telling her all the things that she wanted to hear. And she could have thought that he was gonna leave his wife. Now, while it don't make it right to sleep with a married man, don't none of that equate to I deserve to die. Like, none of it. Because at the end of the day, sir, if you don't want your wife to find out that your girlfriend was pregnant, maybe you shouldn't have got your girlfriend pregnant. Maybe you should have took the proper steps to not get your girlfriend pregnant. I mean, we're all adults here. We know what it takes to make a baby. So, hello, protection. Or how about just not cheating? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, guys and ladies, hell, stop cheating if y'all not ready to deal with the consequences that come with what you're doing. Like, just stop, right? So, yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel really bad for her family, because not only do they have to deal with the loss of Tshegofatso, they have to deal with the loss of this unborn baby, who I think she actually did give a name to. Like, Tshegofatso was so excited to be a mom. This would have been her firstborn child, and that experience was just ripped away from her. It's really just disheartening. Like, she did not have, it didn't have to happen. Like, bro, just be a deadbeat. Be a deadbeat. Like, hey, I don't know what she's talking about. That ain't my baby. I don't know, y'all. This one really hurt my heart. Nonetheless, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you all so very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you like true crime content, I got a playlist that's like just chilling right over here for you. Click on that so y'all can binge watch all of my videos, and I will see you all in the next one. So on June 5th, 2020, what you gonna say? Wait, what did I say? I don't know how they do in South Africa, but it's plenty of deadbeats over here. Come live over here. They'll show you how to do it. I don't know, y'all. This case really did just hurt my heart. So, while I sit over here and cry, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this case.